Now this works out to 1 justifiable gun use to 34 unjustifiable gun death.
People are acquiring it illegally. No matter what, they will go for it. So why don't we put stringent measures in place? Track those people who have it.
We would be encouraging people to use the legal means to acquire the small arms.
Intellectual show, and we are proudly sponsored by producers of Yard products.
And of course, Capital O2 and Access Bank. My name is Asantewaa, and I'm here with
Nanaba Amwa.
Alright, so we have great halls right here gathered, and they're going to give us the best of their thoughts on the motion that will be set tonight. But of course, we are very much also privileged to have all of you around here to also support today's edition of the Yard Intellectual Debate Show. But before we do that, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back.
21st century design, made with durable materials, bristles crafted to reach in between your teeth, flexible, allows easy control. Introducing Ya's range of toothbrushes, made for every pocket. For bulk purchases, call 0302 235294. Ya's toothbrushes, clean teeth, confident smile.
Welcome back from that break.
Alright, so thank you very much. Well, today we have already prepared halls. They are very much prepared for the motion aspect right now. We are so much privileged to have Asantewaa Hall from the University of Professional Studies in Accra.
Asantewaa was named after the famous Asantewaa of Asante Kingdom.
Ever since I was informed that I would have to represent the hall, we've been preparing vigorously, looking at the issues up front, issues that would have caused this debate to have been set as a policy debate, and the stakes are involved for the debate to have been set. Yes, we've looked at all those areas, and that's where we are looking at.
No matter how good or bad they are, we don't underestimate them. We fight hard as if they are the best.
We are just going to become a very courageous, very resilient front, so that in the end we can come out successful.
Consistency, focus has always been the basis of our preparation.
We believe that the courage that moved Asantewaa to conquer those wars, that courage is what we are going to move with today.
Honestly, I won't say that I believe that we are going to win, because I actually know that we are going to win.
And of course, they are also competing against Asantewaa from the University of Cape Coast.
City, our pride, Marine.
As the name even suggests, ATL, we are always above the law. ATL.
We're blue-blooded from the great Atlantic Hall, UCC.
When it comes to intellectuals, we stand beyond any form of boundary set. Yes, we are intellectuals.
Atlantic Hall is very, very, very fun to be in.
Apart from our great melodies, the peaceful, the noise making, the fun in the city, we are also good academically.
Debates and arguments. When it comes to great people who are going out there, the likes of Kojo there, they are all for ATL, and I know definitely we are going to kill the tie with this competition.
Atlantic Hall have what it takes to be the intellectuals, and we are intellectuals.
Only 2 halls on campus. We have ATL and the rest.
Superissimo, as the name depicts. We are super, and then we rule in UCC, we rule in other universities, and then the world diaspora.
Okay, this is the knockout edition, and it is happening right here at KNUST here in Kumasi. So, what is the motion for today's debate?
Well, the motion states the possession of small firearms by individuals for the sake of self-protection must be encouraged by the state. And of course, Asantewaa will be speaking for the motion and Atlantic will against the motion.
Now that's a motion to think about. Okay, would like to acknowledge our moderators. Can you guys give a round of applause to Professor Boski Alabi? We also have Dr. Hussein Adam. All right, they've been of great help so far. Okay, so a quick note of advice to our contestants. All right, please, when the bell is rung once, that means you have done a minute of your assertion. And when it's rung twice, that means you have done 2 minutes of your presentation. And when the bell is rung continuously, it means that your time is up and you should put an end to your assertion. So let's kindly adhere to these rules.
So a round of applause for them. They are very much ready to get us started. So Asantewaa from the University of Professional Studies in Accra will be starting for us. For the principal speaker, a round of applause for him.
Honorable Chairperson, members of the House, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. The motion before the House today is, I quote and unquote, possession of small firearms by individuals for the sake of self-defense must be encouraged by the state. So we are going to be speaking to the issues of the need for self-defense today, and also we'll also be looking at why there is the need for controls of the use of guns to protect the lives of the individual from future catastrophes, to be able to control gun violence. Ladies and gentlemen, Abraham Maslow's theory of need explains that safety is the most second basic need of every individual, and this is where the role of defense comes to play. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a time where individuals, for the sake of their safety, for the sake of the betterment of their lives, they used to defend themselves with weapons like knives, cutlass, and what have you. But eventually, as technology is advancing drastically, people, individuals like us, no longer bound their hopes in these weapons. Now, this small firearm is room for individuals like civilians to also protect themselves. As a result, we believe that the use of these firearms actually helps to protect individuals. And why are we saying this? In the situation where the government actually do not protect carry of these small firearms by the individuals, will actually render them vulnerable. It may interest us also look at the fact that the legitimacy or the legal possession of firearms emanates from even the Ghana's rule consisting of trade. And permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to briefly outline some of these rules. Now, it states that for individuals to possess gun, he or she is above the age of 18. 2, for an individual to also possess a firearm, he or she must be of sound mind and of a good character. And 3, for an individual to again possess a firearm, he or she must have no criminal record, just to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, it is only a matter of legitimacy for us to proclaim that the government must encourage the use of possession of small firearms, because we highly believe that when the right checks and measures are being put in place, just suppose the possession of these firearms would actually help protect the individual in terms of self-defense. Ladies and gentlemen, assuming a criminal wakes up one day and decides to launch an attack on Nima and then say an estate, he or she would actually be encouraged to launch that attack on an estate. Why? Because he feels that the NEMA individuals, there may be a possibility of them possessing any sort of firearm that they would use as against them in terms of counter-attack. For they are being encouraged to actually go in and then attack people in, say, in estates in court. Now, when this happens, it jeopardizes the life of every individual in that area. And these are the very reasons why we are proclaiming that the government must encourage the use or the possession of small firearms in terms of self-defense. We may also believe that the use or the processing of small firearms for self-protection is a matter of legality. The rules are stated clearly in our constitution that if a person wants to possess firearms, he or she must go through this procedure. So there's an issue of legality. And we standing here to proclaim this legality does not actually eradicate the fact that this is not a legal issue, but then we are only trying to promote the issue of legality. And these are what we stand here to proclaim today. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, for the emphasis that the possession of of small firearms by individuals for self-protection would actually help in one, to reduce the vulnerability of individuals to attack against attackers or threats. And secondly, we also want to say that when an individual is being attacked on the spot and he or she possesses this small firearm, it helps the individual to have a leverage over the attackers. For instance, if you are in the comfort of your home and then you are being attacked by a thief, and then you have no weapon or nothing to defend yourself against, it makes you very vulnerable, and then you are going to be in jeopardy. But in a case where you have at least the contemporary weapon, that is the gun or a small firearm, you are able to for instance, give a warning shot, and this alone may actually scare the attacker or may buy time for the security personnel to come in. And when this happens, you have a leverage over the attacker, and hence your life may somehow be secured to some extent. With this proclamation, we believe that the government should continue to encourage the possession of small firearms for self-protection. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, we call the principal speaker against the motion. A round of applause for them.
Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings from the ancient capital, the voice of the coast, the marine city, the Atlantic Hall of the University of Cape Coast. I am Bernard Adomyeboa, the principal speaker of the team that firmly stands on its feet today to speak against the motion possession of firearms by individuals should be encouraged by the state. Panel of judges, I am not Leonardo da Vinci, but permit me to draw the attention of our opponent to the fact that self-protection is, but not limited to self-defense. He kept hitting on self-defense, but we are talking about self-protection here. Now, an individual preventing himself from a liable danger is what defines self-protection. Self-defense in a similar lane needs an attack to be launched before defense could quench the fire it attempts to light. Mr. Chairman, the assertion that firearms provide protection is a mantra that has often been repeated and eaten into some heads. Now, in the year 2009, Professor Charles Branners, a lecturer at the University of Pennsylvania, together with his colleagues, conducted a research to investigate the link between gun ownership and gun assault. Now, these were their findings. They compared 677 cases in which people were injured in the shooting incident, with 684 people in the same area that had not suffered any gun injury. Now, it was found out that those with firearms were about 4.5 times more likely to be shot than those who did not have any. So this actually belied this repeated mantra. Now, other similar researches in this same arena prove this finding to be very valid. I was saddened when our opponents made such a claim that firearms provide protection, while in actual sense, they make us less safer. The ongoing should be quick to let us all know that should the state decide to encourage the possession of small firearms for the sake of self-protection, it will actually inflict about an 80% opposite effect of its intended purpose, which is self-protection. The reasons for this are manifold. Now, a gun could empower the possessor. It could falsely empower the possessor to overreact, instigating and losing otherwise conflicts that probably they could have prevented with people who are also holding such arms. Now, it could force such a person to enter a very dangerous area where normally that particular individual wouldn't have even ventured going to. A gun could forcibly make an individual decide to enter a gun-free zone with a gun, and eventually this same gun could be wrested away from him and turned back on him. So the inescapable fact is that gun ownership actually makes us all less safe. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, the House. Statistics dug out from the FBI's 2012 homicide data portrays that for every one justifiable gun use for self-defense, there were 34 criminal gun homicides, 78 gun suicides, and 2 accidental gun deaths. Now, there were 8,855 criminal gun homicides in the FBI's homicide database, but only 258 gun killings by private citizens were deemed justifiable, which the FBI defines as the killing of a felon during the commission of a felony by a private citizen, which in actual sense dips down to self-protection. Now, this works out to one justifiable gun use to 34 unjustifiable gun deaths. A moment of silence for the souls that have gone down through gun assault. Mr. Chairman, the United States is a country where CCTV cameras are as common as Lebanese on the streets of Ghanaian cities. Now, with all their technological advancements and gun use restrictions, if these figures keep sprinting up by the tick and top of the clock, how then should our minds spend even minutes, not to talk of hours, on the ordinary Ghanaian owning a gun for the sake of self-protection? Now, the very moment we give in to this assertion, we should be more than ready to witness broad-day robbery to the rise, violence and terrorism being the norm, and homicides being our daily bread. These things will fill our news outlets, especially the front pages, till we call our words back into our mouth. Now, the mere suspicion that the man walking towards you in probably tattered jeans and some tattoo is so much frightening enough to let your fingers kiss the trigger. You can in no way buy kinky and expect soup as its accompaniment, at least not in Ghana. Shito and pepper is what will see you off. We are not making the claim that self-defense or self-protection cannot be made by firearms. Now, I want us all to take our minds to this. We are all thinking that America leads the world in gun ownership. That is very true. But it is very true and also the same as the facts portrays that America also leads the world in gun homicides, with 11,000 to 12,000 gun homicides each year. Now, is this the Ghana we all want to see? Is this the Ghana we all want to see? This is not a question for the gods. Gone are the days of the ancestral sacrifice. But then now the gods are not to blame, since they are not making things fall apart. Let's not call the rain upon ourselves once we own no raincoat nor umbrella. I rest my case.
All right, thank you so much.
I've got yes comfort. I've got yes confidence. I've got yes freshness. We've got yes.
wide wings and leak guards. Yes, sanitary pads give you maximum comfort, hygiene and protection in a resealable pack.
We've got Yas Protection.
Yes, sanitary pads. Maximum protection, maximum confidence.
Don't worry, we've got Yas Protection.
Second speaker for the voting team, I stand to be for the motion that the possession of small firearms by individuals for the sake of self-protection must be encouraged by the state. See, there's something the opposing side isn't getting clear, where they do not see the similarities between self-defense and self-protection. Self-defense leads to self-protection. So in the pursuit of self-defense, you actually protect yourself. Now don't get this wrong. You came here and you were talking about US gun laws and how if we encourage gun use in Ghana, small firearms in Ghana actually, there would be a situation like where US, where there's high gun culture and there are killings or not. Civilian use of weapons, and why there is the need, most importantly, to see to it that civilians are armed. You see, unlike US, they are stricter and more in Ghana, we would, as state, see to it that there are thorough and stringent training and examination for civilians who are wanting to own guns. Now in the US, don't get me wrong, there are no thorough and strict examination and training for civilians who want to own guns. The only thing is you have to go and register for the gun, you go through the waiting process, you qualify for it, you qualify for other processes, but then you are not trained. That also accounts for the reason why there's a very high gun violence in the US. But we in Ghana, the debate is limited to Ghana as the state. That's where you also got it wrong. We would combat the problem by training those who come for the weapons themselves. And there will also be regular background checks and enforcing strict laws on the use of the guns. That is, if you are going to buy the gun and you are going to register for the use of self-defense, anything legal for which you use the gun for, apart from self-defense, will see to that the gun is taken from you. So you buy the gun, you bought the gun for self-defense, and you used it for hunting. You didn't buy it for the purposes of hunting. So to control it, we would then take the gun away from you. Also, we would see to it that there's a stricter and much more detailed registration process, which we prefer the biometric process, that we'll be able to detect who bought the gun, who, when he registered it, the kind of gun. So we see to it that all round, all those who are involved in the processing and acquisition of the gun are controlled. So in case that whoever owns the gun goes in excess of the use of the gun, we will be able to easily track him, identify him, bring him to justice, and as such, prevent any situation where there are high gun violence rates. Also, we will see to that there's the clamp down of illegal firearms in the country. That is, the police, it's already in place, but we will make it stricter in the sense that the police will clamp down on illegal firearms. Because illegal firearms, don't get me wrong, in Ghana are what are mostly used for criminal activities. So when we register these guns, it will be very easy for us to check the use of these guns. So we will clamp down on all these illegal firearms, which will compel people to actually give up and bring in their illegal firearms. And we will also see that automatically there are automatic child-proof locks on the guns. That's if you want the gun and you're not using it, you have automatic child-proof locks on the guns. So as should the gun fall in the wrong hands of someone who hasn't received training, and the person pulls the trigger, there will be no catastrophe. So then why is there the need for individuals to be encouraged to access guns? Now in Ghana currently, there's no lie that we are in a state of insecurity, where in the past few recent weeks, we have seen murder sprees all over. You were here talking about how we would see daylight robberies and guns, but they are actually happening. And why are they happening? Because there's the ineffectiveness of the police. Because in terms of number and personnel, they are down. The UN recommends one police to 500 civilians. But if you come to Ghana, we have one police to 770, more than 770 civilians. Which means in terms of personnel, the police are short and as such are ineffective in terms of personnel to combat crime only. That's why there's the need for civilians to be also made to access guns. Now, there's a situation, you call on the police. When you call on the police will take time to arrive. Now, when arriving on the scene, how from that period from which you call them to the period from they arrive, are you safe? You have to take measures into your hands. You have, if you can. And that is what we see to it if the civilians are allowed to arm themselves. So before the police on their way, because the police on their way, the criminals wouldn't wait for the police to come, but they will still combat you. And that is where you have to self-protect yourself if there's a need. If you realize you're in the total control, there can be other weapons, but why are we limited to guns, small firearms? Because of the efficacy of the small firearms, you don't have to go very far. Thank you for the purpose of the regulated.
Thank you. And now the first support speaker against the motion.
Panel of judges, Accra timekeeper, fellow debaters, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am the second supporting speaker for the opposition team, and I'm vehemently against the motion laid before us that possession of small firearms for the sake of self-protection must be encouraged by the state. I am very much saddened by what my opposition team were talking about here. We are talking about a firearm. I wonder if they check the meaning of a firearm. That should be your homework. But a firearm, as we are talking about, is not like a mobile phone where you talk about you can track. We are talking about Ghana. I wouldn't want to use my left hand to point my nation, but this is a nation Ghana, and we know how our systems are. So we don't talk about Ghana as if we can do all these things. When the little that we are not able to handle it well. Let me go on to my point. Self-protection in itself is not a strong basis for gun ownership. As my principal speaker did say, when you get a gun on you, you feel falsely empowered, as he said, and you start doing things that your normal you without a gun would not have done. There was a test by Dr. Jennifer Klinsmann in 2006 and her colleagues, and they made a study of men who were exposed to gun and men who were not exposed to gun. And over the study, they got to see that men with guns had high levels of testosterone in them, which rose their odds of being aggressive or partake in aggressive behavior to 4.5. And men who did not were not. This is common psychology. Men who smoke, who drink, have the tendency of being aggressive. Likewise, again, the stats are there, they can check it. Let me move on to my point. Panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, our colleagues here are trying to copy blindly from the West or developed countries who are using guns. But I have all these stats here, which are presented to the panel of judges, that the old saying goes that look before you leap, but they are trying to leap before they look. This is Ghana. They are talking about the US not having stringent measures to check guns, but Ghana will be able to track registered guns. He did also say that illegal arms are used to perform killing, but registered guns, we can track how they are used. Once a gun gets into the system, good or bad, it's still a gun. Illegal or registered, it's still a gun perpetrating evil. The issue of legality, the person should be 18 years of sound mind, no criminal record, and that our policing system in Ghana can be able to do that. I beg to differ, and I know the audience will bear with me. What do I have here? The police, as he said, they are ineffective. Let me come here. Former President Barack Obama, in the year 2013, said that he would need 4.5 billion to improve the gun control policy that is running in the US. 4 billion of it will be used to station 15,000 officers on the street to check gun control and safety. Ghana, we have 4.5 billion to do this. If you have that 4.5 billion, let us rather use it to retool our policing system rather than talk about introducing or encouraging guns in our system. Our agencies, there's an agency or there's a department which is being headed by the CIA, which are into the gun licensing. This, we don't get corruption or bribery scandals about them because people going into licensing their guns are very few. But we know of DBLA. This is started by the Ghana Initiative and Integrity, which I presented to my panel. They said that DBLA, custom section of GRA, and the passport office are the highest corruption order. This is because people go there, people need quick access to get their things done. Likewise with the gun deal. Someone with a criminal record will go there, try and pay his way through. And this is Ghana, the corruption records are there. We all know that. Here is a news report in the US, which says that a man pleads to bribing his way to get a gun. This one Mr. Alex Lichtenstein, who contracts people, or his job is that he takes contracts from people and can charge as high as $18,000 to get a gun license for you, you think that the price is high. Panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, this price is because the person who seeks or wants the gun license has a criminal record. There was one man who said that he had 10 moving violations in the US. Go and check what a moving violation is. He had 10 moving violations. He had been a subject of 4 domestic violence complaints and one that he allegedly threatened to kill someone. But because now the system is there that any civilian can get a gun, he also wanted a gun. But he knows that the policing system will prevent him. So he paid his way through. Is that what we want to see in Ghana here? You encourage that everyone should get a gun and people just go about paying their way through to get guns. In the US, people pay officers, high sex workers, just to get
all right, thank you very much. People paying their ways to get guns. All right. Would like to acknowledge our sponsors, and this show is proudly brought to you by Yas Products. They have the Pooch Foods. Yas Products have the Pooch Foods. They have the Pooch Cornflakes, Pooch Choco Flakes, and Pooch Frosted Flakes. And in each of these parts, there is an exercise group from Yas, meaning they are helping to groom great debaters for this nation. And in the big pack, which is the 500 grams, they have 10 pieces of 50-gram Pooch Cornflakes. So you have each pack, you can take it at any time, and you have 9 other packs reserved in the pack, in the huge pack for you. So Yas Cornflakes, Yas Pooch Foods, giving us all these lovely, lovely cornflakes. You can take it in the morning, afternoon, evening, anytime, anywhere. Can we now have the second supporting speaker for the motion?
The chair is the house. I don't think my opponent here is carrying us with the definition of firearms. Is it because of the fire? By the way, preceded by small. Do your homework first before you tell me. What have we said? We are saying that the state should encourage the civilians to possess firearms to protect themselves. Why are we saying this? We are saying this because there is law already supporting individuals to possess firearms. We have stated those laws clearly. Also, because we are suggesting to government to encourage the use of small firearms, we have further proposed stringent rules so that these firearms will not be used for any bad purpose. What have we said? We are saying that because we are vulnerable, we should encourage it. What have we said? We are saying that this will give us the leverage. In the event that the police is not near us, we could use that to self-protect. What have we said? We have said that the state is in a sort of insecurity, and the president in his speech alluded to that. And in the process that he is putting things in place to get the police on its feet, we also have to be active in our security. We are saying that gun in itself, when you take it away from people, do not prevent crime. If you take away gun, there will still be crime. And so why don't we legalize it? Why don't we stick to the rule? Why don't we track those who have the gun, so that in the event that gun is used to commit any crime, we can actually go to those people, hold them responsible. What have we said? We are saying that people are acquiring it illegally. No matter what, they will go for it. So why don't we put stringent measures in place? Track those people who have it, and so that if any gun is used to commit crime, we can get those people. Mind you, the acquisition of gun doesn't push people to commit crime. They will really commit crime, whether or not there is gun. What have we said? We are saying that there is the rule already for people to possess firearms, and so we are encouraging them, we are educating them to know that when you want it, there is a legal means to go for it. You do not go for it illegally. All the crimes we are seeing on our street are caused by illegal firearms. Every one of us can pick up our phone, type into Google small firearms in Ghana. Every news portal which will pop up will tell you Ghana is fighting illegal firearms. The illicit firearms we have in the state is causing the crime and not the registered one. Why don't we encourage? Why don't we put the rules in place so that those who are having it illegally will bring them, follow the rules, so that we can track them, and when they commit crime, we can actually get them. Rather than sitting down, closing our eyes and behave as if we do not see them. Let us not let this become one of the illegal legalities on our street, just as we are combating weed and some other drugs. we are still on our feet saying that we have to encourage the use of small firearms so that
Thank you very much. Second supporting speaker for the motion. Now call on the second supporting speaker again the motion. A round of applause for him, please.
Panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, my opponent here, I must admit, deserves a few thumbs up for their effort in trying to prove the motion right. However, considering even our team being intellectuals, it would be indeed a travesty of justice if I, Edem Kojo Enoch, ignore certain preposterous claims that they made here that couldn't hold water. And I'll highlight a few of them. Mr. Chairman, the panel, they made mention of the fact that there are already existing laws. But it will surprise you to know that even with existing laws, there are as many as 1.1 million illegal guns already in the system. If you go out and encourage more people, and encourage people that they should go for guns, are you not giving them the chance to get more guns illegally? And even easily. Now also about few guns being illegal, I want to educate them on a phenomenon of straw purchases. Now, straw purchases is a phenomenon in which someone goes to a shop with a friend or companion and actually buys a gun for them on behalf of the other person whilst registering it in my name. So when you look at such situations, as my first one speaker said, once people actually have issues, they actually will go out there and then get people to register for them so long as they have the money to pay for it. Also, recently, we know that our kids watch lots of TV and even video games. There are series of shootings among others. It would interest you to know that just Saturday, a 9-year-old boy shot his 30-year-old girl, elder sister, right in the head. Why? Because she prevented him from playing a video game. If you are not exposed to gun, how on earth is such a catastrophe going to happen? Yes, indeed, you might say that the guns will protect people, but clearly guns are causing more harm than good. And for that reason, why would we channel those resources to put system that claim we should use in putting stringent system in place to rather the security services so that they will clamp down on illegality of gun and actually make the streets safe for us? The speaker, panel of judges, the ladies and gentlemen, possession of firearms by individuals for the sake of self-protection mustn't be encouraged since it will lead to a catastrophe. Why do I say this? Generally, there will be a burden on the security system of ours. According to a research, according to an incident in 2013,
all right, thank you so much for that constructive assertion. All right, we want to hear from our audience what you have on the motion at hand, what your opinions are. But before we do that, we'll go for a quick break as our moderators put their data together.
I love Fruit Frosted Flakes because it's so crunchy and full of nutrients. All you need is milk. As usual, Mom.
9 minus 3, 2, 2. That's it? Yes?
90.
Which cereal flakes has 9 essential nutrients with no artificial additives or colors? Yes?
Fruit Frosted Flakes is rich in vitamin E, B12, iron, high in carbohydrate, fiber, protein, sodium, and it's very affordable.
Clap for him.
Fruit Frosted Flakes! Fruit Frosted Flakes! All you need is milk. Yay!
which come in 3 variants: Frosty Flakes, Choco Flakes, and Cornflakes. Each pack has 10 mini packs of 50 grams, and each box you buy comes with a free exercise book. Hooch is available in all supermarkets and retail shops. Hooch Frosty Flakes. All you need is milk.
Welcome back from that break. So we are back and we want to know what our audience think about the motion in the House currently.
Thank you very much. My name is Chris Marco, Investor of Professional Studies background. The firearm issue in the US. US is a case where there is a lot of firearms and then there's a high rate of crime. When you juxtapose that to the UK, you have a lot of firearms and then there's a low rate of crime. And when you juxtapose that to Switzerland, we have a whole lot of firearms there. And then the crime rate is very low. Why? Because in Switzerland, kids at the age of 12 years are given trained how to use guns. And then they keep those guns in check. So by the time they are of age, they can now possess guns themselves. And remember that they are security conscious from the onset. And so as they go home and the gun possession becomes high in the system, everybody is security conscious. And so crime rate has been brought down. It's because of the education of security and then the intent that using firearms can scare away people from harming you. Because that's why the high rate, then the crime rate was low, because they put in place measures to keep those things in check. Thank you very much.
I think that when it comes to our part of the world, I don't think that we should accept firearms. Here's the case that we are dealing with massive graduate unemployment and unemployment at large. So we subject one to a firearm. In that way, you are allowing the person to use that kind of arm to secure him for himself or herself a living. Even though firearms are not legally, accepted in our country, people are still, people have access to firearms to a larger extent, and then they are causing more havoc, as the people from Asantewaa rightly said. Imagine a 13-year-old shooting a sister because you deny me access to have fun, you get it. So should we subject people to firearms? It's going to create more havoc than good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Neil Vivian. I've been Elizabeth II for University. Now, we're talking about Africa and particularly Ghana. We have a case here in our country where already there is mistrust. So it means that if we are going to allow people to use guns, that's an issue of mistrust. It's going to create more of it. Now, they talked about the United States of America, where crime rates are high because people are allowed to possess guns. But the United States of America, as far back as from 1791, have put stringent measures to control guns in the United States of in America. But this is not working. It tells you that if a country like the United States of America, who are more advanced in technology and can use their technological advancements to control the use of guns, are not able to do that. It means a country like Ghana, where we are not even able to control politics, we are not able to control our economy. Our advancement in technology too is very low. We are not going to be able to control the use of guns. In the world, Japan has been ranked as the country with the highest gun control policy. Why? Because they have put stringent measures to ensure that people do not possess guns. Now, in the United Kingdom, for instance, in 1996, where Thomas Hamilton, one person who possessed guns legally, the word is legally, the person was possessing guns legally, used it against children. It tells you that if you are going to allow citizens in Ghana to possess guns, already there is mistrust, and so therefore we are going to create more havoc than doing good or self-protection as we claim.
I'm Mesa Rich Pijo from the Great Atlantic. It is so interesting myself getting a gun and then having it on me during lecture hours or even on campus. But let's look at the burden we even give the security in Ghana, where it will be so difficult for them to engage in investigations. Currently, even at Ghana, when a case happens, how do you get data so that we can investigate and find those who are engaged in the crime. It becomes so difficult. All of us are having firearms. We start firing, we see the police. Why don't we channel the money we would have used in empowering people to get guns, building up training sessions for them, channel it to other sectors of the economy, so that the country that will be a better place to be. Look at, it is better to be a master of one thing than to be a servant of all. When the economy is developing, it will be better than we having guns in the system. It will be better for the government not to increase expenditure in terms of training people, but it will be better off increasing expenditure in that is employment, so that the country will become a better place to be. Giving me the power of a gun tells me that I am so strong enough to shoot anybody who gets me out. Why? Because I have a gun. And so when you have a gun, I have a gun. It is who fires first. So I'll do that first, then I take you off. And I think that should be the galaxy Ghana as well. Thank you.
Our judges are ready with a verdict, so we go straight to them. A round of applause for our moderators.
Once again, we've had a very interesting debate, and one that is quite difficult to tell which way the debate should go. For me, particular as a judge, I might say it has been very difficult for me. Firstly, because I am associated with the University of Professional Studies, and secondly, because I'm a proud alumnus of Atlantic Hall, a fishmonger myself. So that's a very difficult one. But I want you to be assured that the judgment has been done in all fairness and independently. And independently, we had the first judge allotting 23 points to one side, and then 20.5 points to the other side. And then we had the second allotting 16.5 to one side and 20.5 to another side. With 37.0 and 43.5, the winning side is the Atlantic Hall. Firstly, we noted that both sides raised very good points. The fourth side established that it is not illegal to own small arms in Ghana, but there are conditions and procedures as established by law. But they did not quote for us the specific law that deals with that. We also noted that, just as the other side, they did not expatiate on the word encourage, because the active word there is encourage. So what does it mean to encourage people to own small firearms when it is already legal under certain conditions to own small firearms? The third speaker, or the second supporting speaker for the motion, did well in establishing the fact that by encouraging people to own small arms, it is believed that we would be encouraging people to use the legal means to acquire the small arms, which they believe could reduce illegal possession of small arms, which cause a lot of crime for us in the country. For the against side, they were able to establish very early on their arguments with relevant references, which the for side didn't do throughout their presentation. There wasn't one research reference quoted by the four sides of the argument. We must say that the second and third, or the first supporting and second supporting speakers, also made references to some incidents and some statistics, but they never cited those references. They just tell us that there is this reference or that, but those specific cases were never intellectually cited as one would have expected. That notwithstanding, we believe that they were able to expand more arguments for their position than we had from the four bench. On that note, congratulations to both sides. You all contributed very well to the subject on the floor.
Yes, you've all done well, but I'm very particular about the use of language. The language use wasn't bad at all. I was not able to perceive any flaws. I wasn't able to perceive any flaws in the use of language, and that is credit to the two sides. I was thinking you were going to speak a computer language, but fortunately, you made use of language in its best way, and thank you very much for doing that. Thank you all.
All right, so thank you very much to our orators. A round of applause for them. And I'd like to say better luck next time to Asantewaa from the University of Professional Studies, and once again, congratulations to Asantewaa from the University of Cape Coast. All right, so we really appreciate all of you for being part of our debate show for today. It is the Yas Intellectual Debate Show, and it has been very, very, very interesting so far since we started. The first of its kind here in the country, and I imagine that it's going to go into years as far as the future of this debate is really concerned. My name is Edwin B, and I'm here with
Nana Amwa.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.